James 1:27 says, pure and spotless religion is defined by what we're going to do with widows and orphans. And so for me, it's really exciting. I can honestly say orphans were not really on my radar screen for a really long time. I thought really all I needed to do was just sponsor a child. It never occurred to me that there were other things that I could do. And I just had this epiphany in the last, like 8 years that, we're going to be held responsible before God for what we did about the orphans and vulnerable children. And God got my attention about AIDS through orphans, because there was this box in the middle of the article about HIV in Africa that said that there were 12 million children orphaned in Africa due to AIDS. And that absolutely rocked my world, because it never occurred to me, I'd never heard such a thing, that there were 12 million children who were orphaned due to one illness in one place, and it didn't have anything to do with my life. I didn't know any of them. How could there be this terrible problem and it not touch me? And it launched me on this journey of how God then completely changed my life. It took me from being stay-at-home mom who was very involved with our church and our ministry, and to an advocate worldwide for people with HIV and for orphans. So completely unexpected. Just didn't see it coming, but God radically changed my life.
For you, I sing my dance, rejoice in this divine romance, live my heart.
I believe that my generation failed. I mean, under my watch, my generation's watch, HIV went from being something that was fairly localized to something that spreads all around the world. The number of orphans has multiplied exponentially in my lifetime. And so to feel like my generation kind of dropped the ball, and to look now at this generation that's coming up and saying, you guys, we messed up, and I'm so sorry to hand this baton to you and this kind of messy world, but that's what we're doing, and now it's up to you. You've got to make sure you're the ones who stop some of the stuff that's going on. You are the ones who end AIDS. You are the ones who say, my church, my family, we're going to be the ones who take care of the orphans and the vulnerable children. We're going to provide families for them. That to me it's an exciting challenge. It's a hard challenge to hear. We'd much prefer to talk about what's our next building plan, what's the next set design we're going to do for our church, what's the next curriculum we're going to study. We really get caught up in some of those things, and unfortunately forget what is the basic, which is to love God and love people. And if we're not loving orphans, if we're not loving people with HIV, I'm sorry, we're not loving Jesus.